Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
So here's Under Fallen Sky. This is going to be the base game that you're going to have with it. You're going to have your dice set aside. These little white ships can be set aside. You're going to have your excavator right here. You're going to have your damage up here, your energy here, your research tracker here, and you're going to have the ships up on all these lines. And each of these boards can be double flipped over for different sides of the game. To play the game is actually quite easy. So the players will win the game if the research tracker ever gets to the top. So the green gets all the way to the top. Or the mothership gets down to this skull symbol here, or the damage tracker gets down to the skull symbol. So that would be the two ways that you can lose, and the one way that you can win. So on your turn, what you're going to do is, in the basic game, you're going to have 3 gray dice and 2 white ones. You're going to roll these dice, and you're going to be able to play them out. And what you're going to do is you're going to place them down on these boards over here. So what I've done is I've turned this around so we can more easily see it. And what you're going to do is you're going to put these dice on these locations in your area down here, and these areas will do different things. And as you place these down, that is fine. Everything has to be above the excavator. You can't move it down. If you want to move the excavator, that's fine. You can take one of your dice, 1, 2, 3, put it here, and you can have the excavation move. One of the rules of the game is that you have to have one in each column. Each dice is going to have down. So let's go back through this and show you how it works really easily. So if I wanted to play a white die, I could play a white die down. Once I play the white die, then I re-roll the other die that I have. And these dice would have to be re-rolled. So whenever you play a white die, they have to be re-rolled. That's kind of a gist of what you're doing here. And you're going to have a few different things on the board that this will do. So the yellow ones are pretty easy. These are going to give you energy. And your energy tracker will go up and down on this row right here as you garner more energy. The airplane ones will let you shoot down the bad guys, the spaceships as they're coming down. Green will move you up on this research track, which is what you're utilizing to win the game. And then these are just anti-aircrafts. This will allow them to move, but move less. That's pretty much all you're going to have on this board. More energy, move the research, shoot them down, or really nothing. Just going to kind of move them as you go. So this is what the game board will look like. So let's say I had a roll of dice like this. And when you place one down, remember you have to place one of these into each column, then you will move the ships down, the number of pips on the dice. Now this front row, the anti-aircraft, will have a -1 on it, so you always move it 1 less. So if I were to place it here, let's say I want to put this 5 here on the yellow, then I would move this ship down 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I could place another die, say I want to play another one right here in this column, only 1 die to a column. Then I would also move this one down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's going to be on one of these 4. I'll come back to that in just a second. Then let's say I wanted to place this 6 down on, no, let's say I wanted to play this 5 down here in this row. Then I would move this one down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But because it has a blue arrow, it's going to go over to the right 1 location. So now I have 2 people in that column and none in that second one. Then I can place the other die down. Let's say I want to place this here on this aircraft 1. Then I would take this guy, move him down 2. And that leaves this middle row, which I can't do anything because the excavator's here. This is not available to me because it's in front of it. So this is the only location I can go. And then I would move everything in this row down. 6 minus 1, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has an arrow, so he'll go over. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. So that's the movement phase of what we're doing. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here to kind of show you what we're doing. Now I'm going to take these dice off and utilize them. So this one's not going to do anything because it's just anti-aircraft. It'll allow when they move down to move down less. This one right here is on a aircraft place, which is 2. It has a little -1 on it, which means this 2 normally would have a power of 2, only has a power of 1. So if you're on any of these locations here, I'll take this one out. If your ship happens to be on these locations, I could shoot anything that has 2 -1 on it. So if there's anything, now none of these would be able to shoot up. But if you happen to plan out where these ships will be on that location, I can shoot them down. I have one here on a 4, but that location gave me the 2 pip -1, so it doesn't really do anything. Here, this one will cost me 2 research. So I spend my 2 research, and I have 5 that can move up on this track. So the first one is 3. I can do that. Next one is a 1. That's a total of 4. But next one is 3. I only have 1 left over, so I can't move it up any further. Then these 2 will be on the yellow, which will be a total of 10, but it has a -3 on it for 7, and that will allow me to move my research up in 7. Now, it's important to note that whenever you take something off of these, I can always do them in any order that I want. Now, the other thing I could have done was move this thing, the excavator. Let's say I'm going to put this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have put a die there, the number of pips on it or less, and then move this thing up, and now these would have been available to me later on in future turns. Then the third thing you're going to do on a turn is you're going to move the mothership down a location. Now remember, if this ever gets all the way down here, you immediately lose the game. Then you will do whatever is on this. Now this symbol right here would put one of these clear ships out. So the third phase, what we're going to do is going to move the mothership down. It will move down one space here, covering up. Remember, if it ever gets down to this spot, we will immediately lose the game. And then whatever it's pointing to, we do. In this case, we bring out one of these clear ships, and that will come up here on the mothership and just kind of sit there for now. Some of these will move the excavator back. Some of these will move you down the research track. But for the most part, they're going to put more ships out, move the excavator, or move you down on the research track, which is your win-loss condition here. After that, then you'll put this in any area that doesn't have one of these locations, or whichever one is the furthest away. Then you take all your dice back and do the same thing over again, rolling the dice, trying to get the game won before that timer comes down to end the game, or you take damage. Now, whenever a ship would come all the way down here into your city, you would take 1 damage for that ship. It would come back up on that ship in order to be respawned later in the last stage. If you ever shoot one of these clear ones down, they come off the board and are not they're not respawned unless one of these would put them back out. Where if you shoot these guys down, they will go back in the ship. So that's the basic game of how to play Under Falling Skies. That's kind of how we go through it. You keep repeating that till you either win or lose the game.